I'm told, who's just got to be walking out of the jail. Now, the Supreme Court has ordered the premature release of the assassins of the former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. And all these, in fact, 6 assassins will be walking out free. Republic earlier has also been able to access the entire judgment copy that has been put out by the court. Let's see if we can get in Varshini and Rhythm back with us, who've been tracking that story and getting us the kind of voices we've got so far. The entire issue, remember, has evoked some very, very sharp reactions. And as I said, we've been looking at some political parties who even celebrated the order. They celebrated the release, something again that has been questioned by citizens and also by the civil society. Now remember, can there be a precedent to releasing terrorists in India? That's the first and the most important question as you look at these images. Will there be an appeal against the order? We do not know that yet. The Congress party just about yesterday had released a statement where they said this is going to be legally untenable. They said they do not agree with this. This is against the spirit of the country. So will we be looking at an appeal in the entire case? Again, not very clear. Can those who conspired to assassinate a former prime minister be even freed like this? Can they be walking free today? Again, a question that deserves an answer. Will those who have been convicted in an act of terror, because let's not mince our words, this was an act of terror against the state, the conspiracy to assassinate the former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in the year 1991. So those who are convicted in an act of terror, why give them a long row? Why allow them this entire space where they can walk out free? And won't the release of the convicts in the entire case of the assassination of the former Prime Minister actually embolden terrorists? What is the message that we as a country are sending? A country that says zero tolerance to terror. These images, again, a grim reminder of the many contradictions, remember, that have been thrown up. And as we here at the Republic Network have said, with utmost respect to the Supreme Court and the judges and the order that has been put out, it's important to talk about these questions. We are only echoing questions and perspectives, viewpoints of the citizens today who've been writing to us and saying that they today wonder why and how do you have assassins of the former Prime Minister who are allowed to walk free like this. Now, I quickly want to tell our viewers and perhaps jog their memory as we look at these images. Don't forget Rajiv Gandhi and 16 others. Rajiv Gandhi, the former Prime Minister of the country, and 16 others are killed in a bomb concealed in a basket of flowers. That actually happened. The attack was plotted by the LTTE, suicide bombing to kill the former Prime Minister. These are the offences under the Indian Penal Code, also under the Arms Act and the very, very serious Tata Act of the year 1987. This is the charge. And today, the killers of the former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi are walking free. Varshini is also joining us live, I'm told. Varshini, why don't you take it away and, talk us through these images? Since yesterday, a lot of our viewers have been writing to us. They all want to know today, is this the precedent that we as a country are willing to set?
Well, that is exactly the question that is burning in the minds of the several people of the state. It's not just, one or two or a political party who is upset upon this, but a lot of people are definitely discussing the same. On basis of humanitarian, humanity and human rights, is it okay to set free people who have conspired in the killing of a former prime minister is the biggest question. Now you can see all the proceedings have begun. The judgment copy is out, and the prison authorities and the Tamil Nadu police were waiting for this judgment copy to be handed over to them so that they can start with the procedures to let these convicts free. And now that the judgment copy is out and that we've accessed it also, we can see what is all written, what are the points that the judges have made in this matter. And now we can see that all the procedures have begun. Nalini has been taken from her house to the prison. We are following her. We will be seeing what is going to take place at that prison. So we're going to Vellore Central Prison now, where Nalini will be taken, and also two other convicts, Murugan, who is the husband of Nalini, who's also called as Sriharan, and also Shantan, who will also called as Sundar Rajan, will also be there. They're already serving prison time in Vellore Central Prison. So all three of them will be now legally set free. And we can also see that since Nalini is on parole, her parole proceedings will be ended now. That is why she's been taken to the prison. All the parole proceedings will get end now, and the release procedures will begin. And that is the most shocking thing that is happening here. It's all happening right in front of our eyes. We can see that it's happening for real. And we hear that two more prisoners are in convicts are in Purel prison, and one more prisoner is in Madurai Central Prison, but he's also on parole, Ravichandran, who also spoke to Republic yesterday. So now all their proceedings, the legal proceedings will happen now, and in a matter of 1 or say 2 hours maximum, all these 6 convicts will be let free. They will be able to walk out and about in the society amongst us. So this is the situation currently. We're picking up from the ground. All the legal procedures are happening as we speak now.
Yes, Varshini, I also want to read out the statement that came in from the DMK yesterday, because we must not forget, and I think it's important for our viewers to know what are the kind of reactions we've heard from political parties, because there have been political parties, Varshini, who've celebrated the release of the assassins of the former Prime Minister. What the DMK said, the DMK leader and the Chief Minister, M.K. Stalin, he said this is a ruling that is historic. He said it's historic towards the democratic principles of the country.
Well, absolutely, yes. The Chief Minister did mention the same, in his statement when he released yesterday after the judgment came out. He specifically spoke about how DMK has always been fighting for the release of the convicts, be it while they were the opposition, now as they are the government, and that the M.K. Stalin has been constantly voicing out to release these convicts. And at the same time, we know that the Cabinet of Ministers also passed a resolution which was sent to the governor in order to make sure that the release of these convicts are happening. And also he also mentioned about how this is the historic win, and this is also about how it's going to make sure that it is their voice, that they have been fighting for social justice for everybody and human rights and humanitarian victory for everybody who's fighting for human rights. So those are the words that he mentioned in his statement yesterday. And he also spoke about how all the other parties, the parties that are in alliance with DMK, particularly MDMK,
yes.
Marumalarchi Dravida Munitra Kazhagam, which is led by Vaiko, also was the very important party.
That's the key point. That is the key point. And at a point, and at a judgment, and in a society like this, where India as a country has borne the brunt of terror, are we allowing terrorists to walk free? That is the larger debate. And again, I reiterate that we here at the Republic Media Network are not questioning the Supreme Court, and with utmost respect to the highest court in the land and the judges and the judgment. But it's important to look at a holistic picture here. The reason why Republic, remember, has kept its focus on this big story the moment it broke. Now, we spoke of the DMK. Let's talk about the Congress. What the Congress party said. Now, there was a statement that was released by Jairam Ramesh of the Congress party, who said, and I quote him here, "The decision of the Supreme Court," he said, "is totally unacceptable and completely erroneous." The Congress party criticizes it clearly and finds it wholly untenable. It is most unfortunate that the Supreme Court has not acted in consonance with the spirit of India on this issue. And he said, we will be taking legal remedy. So will that happen or not? We will track that story, and we'll keep asking all those important questions.